What's crazy about the show is that it was so huge and only Latinos knew about it. It was like a secret clubhouse. Every single presidential nominee since the 1990s has been on the show. Bill Gates was on it. Barack Obama. Tonight, Barack Obama actually said a goodbye to them, Francisco, because this man was the shit in Latin America. In Latino families, the TV is always on for some reason. No one knows why or who turned it on, but that thing never turns off. Growing up, you know that if you want to be heard, loved, fed, driven to the hospital, you need to learn how to be able to talk over the TV. Probably the reason why we're so fucking damn loud. But even though talking over the television is encouraged / necessary for your survival, there is an unspoken rule that you don't talk during certain times. One of them is when Walter Mercado is doing his horoscopes, and when on Sábado Gigante at the end, someone is about to win the fucking car. That's right. Someone may win a car at the end of Sábado Gigante. This ain't Oprah. You don't just get a car for showing up. Sábado Gigante makes you work for it. Even though you get chosen, you might not win the actual car. My grandfather was a very stern man. Few things in life really brought him joy, but one thing that brought my grandfather almost inexplicable joy was when someone was about to win the car. Every Saturday night, my grandfather would scream for all the grandchildren in the house to come watch this go down. I was my grandmother's favorite, and my attendance was very easily bought by a big bowl of arroz con leche, so I was always there. But if you were one of the fast kids that was running around the house, my grandfather would scream out, "Oigan, que vengan para acá." And like an invasion of the Mongols, you would hear everyone just running over to the living room, where my grandfather would be chilling in front of the TV, wife beater on, big gold Mexican cross hanging on his neck, and he'd look at every single one of you dead in the eye and say, "Sí or no?" We didn't even have to ask what the question was, for he wanted to know, did we think someone was going to win the car? This might seem like a very simple question to a lot of people, but the amount of anxiety that this drove into all of us was insane. Because once you chose yes or no, it basically decided your fate as a grandchild for the next week. If you got it right, you were declared as being the most intelligent person in the entire fucking world. And if you got it wrong, God help you. Because my grandfather would ridicule you. If they won the car and you got it right, my grandfather would look at you and say, "Pero mira que inteligente. Tú supiste que iba a ganar el carro." And if you didn't know, he would talk about you in front of you, Mean Girl style, and ask the people who got it right, "Pues fíjate, tú sí supiste que se lo iba a ganar. Pero él no. ¿Por qué es eso?" And the answer to that was, "You're a fucking moron." Now, if you're Latino like myself, Don Francisco was basically another uncle that you never really saw. He was kind of like that uncle that everyone has that got left behind in Mexico, and you would ask, "Yo, what happened?" And then no one would tell you. That was Don Francisco. Let me also say too that watching Sábado Gigante was an obligation. It wasn't just something people took lightly. You had to watch it. If you were under the age of 14 and could be forcibly held down, you were made to watch it with your grandparents / parents because for some reason they thought it was educational. But what were the things that you really learned from Sábado Gigante? I learned that women are supposed to wear sequin bras at all times. I learned that Colgate is pronounced Colgate. That if you sing badly, that El Chacal comes to get you and feeds you to a lion. I also learned that there are bracelets with 2 balls at the end that have magical properties that somehow make your life better. The episode tonight was a tearjerker. I think if there's one thing that I'm going to miss about Sábado Gigante more than anything else, it's that Sábado Gigante united Latinos across nations, across religions, across ages, across cultures. Most people in the United States, for some reason, lump all Latinos together. But really, we're really different. We all speak different ways and we all have different cultures, but Don Francisco and Sábado Gigante somehow brought all of this together and made us into one. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Latinos and how we define ourselves in the future. I, for one, am going to miss Sábado Gigante. I'll miss the way that Don Francisco was able to connect with Latinos across the country and across the continent. I'll miss the way that Latinos were able to celebrate something that we produced and that we made. I'll miss a show that Latinos took pride in. And most of all, I'm going to miss how Javier Romero used to pronounce Colgate. Stalin, say like and subscribe.